Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping to see this one because I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to play with wax seals. And I played around a little bit already. I played around enough to have a few do's and don'ts for you if you're just starting out with the whole wax seal adventure. So I'm going to go ahead and I pulled out all my stuff. I'm pretty sure this is like all the versions that you're going to need. So we're going to play with the seals, how to make a really good one, and the different types that you can, mechanisms. You can, melt the beads. You can use hot glue guns. You can use the candle type. So I'm going to go through all of it with you, and I'm going to continue experimenting. There's a few things I wanted to try out that I hadn't yet. So we're going to do it now. We're going to do it together. Okay. So I'm going to start out with the high temperature hot glue gun, and you can get you can get the sticks, the wax sticks in this format so that you can do it easily. I think this is probably the easiest way, honestly. And here's something that I learned. I got the fat version and the skinny version. Why? I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I know why. Because I got a pack of these with a seal that I bought. I was like, well, I need to use them somehow. So I got the skinny one. Well, I didn't realize it. But this is a cool shot. So this is the low temp and this is the high temp, and it affects how your seal works. So I thought that might be a good thing to show you so you can learn from my, well, not mistake, but my faux pas. I didn't realize I was buying a different temperature, but I'm going to set this one aside. And I realize now that I didn't necessarily have to buy this because these cut up pretty easy, and you can cut them up. I haven't bought beads because I wasn't planning on getting this. But my first round of wax seals did not turn out that great. But I thought, hey, I'll just cut them up into little pieces and then melt them. So I got this so that I could do that. And now I realize, hey, you can do the same thing with the sticks. Just cut them up into your own little beads if you want to mess with that, or you can just buy beads already, kind of tiny little pieces. So we're going to experiment with all that. But first we're going to do the hot glue gun, the high temperature hot glue gun. And I have my nonstick mat here. I wasn't sure if it would stand up to the heat, but it seems to do fine. So I'm going to continue with that. I also got this, which I haven't played with yet. So we're going to play with this together. This is, if you want a 100% perfect rings or circles, this is kind of a mold. You place the wax in there, and look at this one. It has a fun little scallop design. I thought that was kind of cool. And it came with a rubber mat that to put the wax on, which is clearly going to be a good choice too. But my little plastic or nonstick mat worked just fine. So I want to use this bigger space because I like to just do a bunch of them in a row, and there's not that much room to do that here. So let me see, I've already drip in here. I'll put that in there. This is actually a good thing to have on hand, I think. So, oh yes, and then today we're also going to play with the seal stamps that I got from BB Craft. The rectangular shaped one, and then the one it's not a circle, it's just the shape of the object, which I think is going to be really fun to play with. So we're gonna play with those too. But let's start with just the basic round stamp, and I've got all these different sizes. This one's really tiny, and this one's quite large, and this is probably the standard size. So let's go from small to large. So, okay. So what we're going to do, get an area that is slightly, if you can control it, slightly smaller than the stamp itself. okay? Because it's going to squish out. So now, and I felt like I did better if I stood. So now, while it's still hot, you place it on there, and it's going to squish out, and you kind of center it. You have this much time to get it centered. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty even around the edges. And then you just let it sit. You just kind of keep it there and let it cool off, and then it will lift right off. So while we let that cool, let's go with a medium size here. And, you know, if you do it too big, then you have really bulgy edges, which, I mean, if that's the look you're going for, there's really nothing wrong with that either. But I think most people probably just kind of want the normal. I have to steady my... Oh, that one's, see, I went off. So that one's going to be kind of, it's not going to have the little ring around here. If it looks too bad, then that's okay. We'll just cut it up and melt it in there. So then let's do the big one. When you're doing it this way, it's quite hot, so you do have some time, but you don't want to take too long. I think I may have taken too long on that middle one. A little bit more. Okay. And then, there we go. There we go. Okay, that'll be a good one. All right, so let's take a look at this little guy. See, it lifted right off. And this is metal, so it's actually warm. This stuff is hot. You need to be careful. This is definitely not for little kids to do. And then I'm just going to peel it right off. And see, that turned out pretty nice. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's see this one. This one's still a little bit sticky, so okay. Let's while we're waiting for those to cool off, let's do the rectangular one. This is a definite experiment. Definitely. So I'm just going to use the same concept, just kind of do it a little bit. Oh no, I'm running out of wax. No, I think I have enough for this one. I think. Hang on. Kind of eyeballing it here. All right. Kind of squish it. Okay, that's interesting. It kind of made its own little oval. Okay. Here we go. All right, so, you know, I mean, that's okay. I don't like that. I don't mind a little bit of skinniness, but I think that's a little bit too uneven. So I'll probably cut that up and put that in there, and we'll reuse that wax. All right, let's see this one. Ooh, it's so pretty. I love this one. It has a little bit of a fatter edge on the one side. Come on now. There we go. Okay. But not bad at all. I think I like that one just fine. See, it still has a little bit of a rim, where this one, not at all. So I don't care for that, but I like that. That's fine, even though it's not completely even. All right, so while we're letting that one dry, let me take this off and put on this one from BB Craft. I'm excited. Oh, that one doesn't have... That one's not a universal one. I think it's going to have to use, let's see. There we go. Okay. Still a little warm. I'm going to let that cool off a little bit more. Okay, I think, there we go. Okay. This handle works for these two. So, all right. Oh, I'm dripping all over there. Oh, well. Okay. So let's see if I have enough. I don't have enough. I'm going to have to add another stick. Now, I don't have the same color anymore, but I'm going to add in this blue, which will give it enough pressure. You know how a hot glue gun works. You have to have something pulling it. So it's probably going to be enough, but then there'll be maybe a couple where I'm going to have the combination of the green and blue, which actually is really pretty. Kind of a multi multicolored. Okay, so let me see. This one I'm probably going to make a little bit bigger than the image because I don't have anything pushing it out. It's just the image itself. So let's see here. Okay. All right, let me peel this guy off. That's interesting. I'm gonna try it again and get it more, see if I can get it more rectangular. That's a pretty image, isn't it? It's a stack of books with a cup of coffee on it. That's so pretty. I love it. Okay. All right, we'll set that aside. I may redo. I may cut that up or I may save it. I don't know. We'll see. That one still looks wet. All right. Well, here, while we wait for this one to dry, because I need that handle. That one, I think that's, oh yeah, sorry, I'm on camera. I think that's the size stamp that I'm going to need for this. So let's play with this one real quick here. That's why I like to have a lot of things going so you have something to work on while things are cooling off. And I'm not gonna fill the whole circle because again it's gonna squish out when I put that on there. So let's see how this works. Okay, that definitely gives it a very much more uniform edge and ridge if that's what you're looking for. That's cool. Let's see, this one will fit in here. No, it's a little bit too big. That's a pretty big stamp there. Well, hang on. I've got more. Let's see. Let's do this one. We'll do the tree. It's the same medium size. That'll work. Okay. So let's do this one. This will be fun to see the scalloped edge. That's pretty cool. All right. Okie dokie. All squished out. Oh, I don't have it quite. I didn't quite put enough. Well, okay. I'll have to redo that one later when it cools off. All right, let's see. This one looks cool. Cooled off. Oh, that's kind of nice. I think I did too much. Because that's really poofy. It looks a little inflamed and it cracked. Okay, so that's going to get remelted. So let's try that again. With a little bit less. And I think I'm just going to move it around before I place it for keeps. Kind of like that. I don't know. I may have just ruined it. This is why this is called Experiment with Me. Because we're just experimenting. Okay, now that's nice. That's definitely much more uniform. It's still, a little bit thicker on this side than this side, but it's very much more perfectly shaped. That's cool. That's nice. That's great to know. That's if you really need something very, very perfectly round. I don't mind the ones that are off a little bit, honestly, but there's something nice about that too. I'm not gonna hate it. That's for sure. Okay. I wanted to. Oh, I was gonna do the book stack again, but now I have to wait for this again. All right, that seems to be fine. All right, this isn't too bad. I didn't have quite enough. I didn't put enough wax in the mold, so the bottom does not have, it's not a perfect thing, but it doesn't look bad either. I would use that. Okay, cool. Let's do that again. And I'll just put more wax. This one may be one that changes color. Getting to the end. Oh, it's still all green. Okay. Okay, that should be enough. Now, let me do the tree again. Oh, well, that's puffy. See, it's tough. It's not, there's definitely a technique to it that you need to learn. Practice makes perfect. And the cool thing is, that's why I got this, because if you mess up, it's not wasted at all. You just break it up, cut it up, and melt it down with this. Or we'll play with this soon too. It's a little bit more finicky, but it's pretty cool. I like it because it kind of feels like you're doing it the authentic way, like they used to do back in the day. Okay, let's see. No, that one still wants to stay. Whoops. Boing. Okay, let's see. Well, while those are drying, let me tell you about the low heat, the low temp schmacky-doo here. What is this? Glue gun. So it doesn't get as liquid. Let me do it where you can see it here. It doesn't get as liquid, so it's a little bit more plasticky from the get-go. So when you put your stamp down, see, it's like you can see the little ridges. It's not just completely liquid. So when you put your stamp down, you actually have to, you can't just set it down and let it sink. You have to really squish it down, which in a way, the cool thing about that is it gives you a little bit more control. Like when you're putting it on the liquid, it kind of like shifts and you're like trying to get it to stay in the middle. But when it's like this, the low temp, it actually like you have some time to like, really aim and look. I mean, you can see. I don't know if you can see, but you'll see in a minute here. The edge is actually quite uniform because I was able to just visually put it there without it wanting to move and slide because it was so hot. Does that make sense? I hope so. So let's do that again. Let's do that with the bigger stamp. So it's definitely hot and melty, but it's not just straight up liquid. It's kind of like, can you see how it's just, I don't know if you can see that. Do this one. So I can just really manipulate it and get my stamp exactly where I want it. And then, of course, it doesn't take that long to dry. But one thing I did notice, that it peels off the surface really easy, but then you have to actually peel it off the stamp. But it doesn't ruin it at all. It's almost more rubbery a little bit. I can bend it and it's not going to break. I don't feel like it's going to break. So, but look, it's actually quite perfect. And that's because I had more control because it wasn't so liquid, if that makes sense. So that's a keeper. Let's see, this one's already done. Eek, 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 eek. Okay. All right, that one was hard to... All right. So yeah, again, I was off a little bit, but it's not bad. And then you can see some of the swirliness. Now there's a little bit of a different color in there as well. I'm not sure if that's what's showing up or if it's just the edges of the gold. But you can see kind of, it's not just smooth. You can see little chunks and pieces, which kind of gives a nice look to it too. But yeah, just be aware that that's kind of the look it has. Like with this one too, you can see kind of where the glue kind of, piled up on itself. I don't know how else to describe it. I hope I'm making some sense. Whereas these with a hot glue, there's really it's quite smooth. You know, the color is smooth. There's no variance. Okay. All right. So this one. Now I'm going to have to master this. This one's a little bit harder. This one's harder to get right. But you know what you could do, since it's breaking off, I wonder, because the image itself is nice. Huh. That's kind of a neat idea. And then use that on something. Whoops, there we go, blurry. That's kind of neat. That's something that could maybe be useful. Let me do that again with this one here, because maybe that's what you're supposed to do with these. I don't know. I'd never seen it before, where you, have just the image and not the circle around it. Huh. Okay. All right. Huh. I'm hanging on to those. I'm going to do something with them. That's pretty cool. But I feel like I need to, let me try it with the cool gun, because I want to get it with a little bit of an edge. I want to see if I can get that, if it's even possible. So kind of mimic here now we've got two colors going. That'll be cool. Ooh, that'll be cool. Okay, let me see. And I won't press down as hard. Okay, let's go back to this one. Okay, now I overdid it. It's really has muffin top going on over here. It's a little bit too much, I think. So I'll remelt that one. But that'll be pretty. I like the way this one turned out, even though it didn't go all the way around. So let's do that again real quick. I want to get it right. I think I did not enough the first time and a little bit too much the second time. So, whoops. Okay, let's see if that works. It's not enough either. So, okay, this one's going to take a little practice. And then this one's going to take a little practice. But that's not bad either. It has a little bit of the goopy. Look at the gold and then the red down here. That's pretty. Ooh, it's pretty. I don't know. I kind of like it. Maybe if someone knows if this is how it's supposed to be, this is the purpose of these, let me know. Because it works really well for that. It's kind of like a cutout, And then you could put, if I had just a plain circle, I could inset that in there and push it down. I'll have to get a plain one now. I've seen those before. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough with the glue guns. So now let's play with this. This is my least favorite because I'm going to sit down now. I've been standing this whole time because it kind of drips. To me, it drips a little bit too slow because you're having to wait for it to drip. And by the time you get enough, it's kind of almost too cool already. So, but let's try it again. And I'm going to do the small one because, like I said, it drips really slow. And for the huge one, it'll just take forever for me to get enough. So be careful as you play with fire. All right. And I just gotta wait. And I'm right-handed, so it feels kind of awkward. I feel like I need to hold this with my right hand, but then I'm not ambidextrous enough to, well, see. See, it's a little tedious. It's a little bit tedious. This matchbox is kind of old. There we go. Oh, my husband's mowing. I hope that doesn't come out to be too loud in the video. Come on now. Whale? One more try. I'm going to try it one more time, and then we're going to move on because I don't feel like it's worth the trouble to begin. Oh, shoot. I almost... Don't laugh on the flame, Karen. You'll blow it out. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to move on. But you get the idea. If this stays lit, then it starts to drip, and then you just have to wait for enough to drip to get your seal on there. And although I think this was also probably one of the more original ways to do it, I don't like it. I don't like it. So we're going to set that aside. All right. So now let's get this guy out of the way. Sure, he's dry. Okay. So again, not perfect. I'll probably redo that one. All right. I'm going to unplug. Let me unplug the guns here so I don't end up knocking something over. Excuse me for un momento. Okay. All right. Let me get these out of the way. Okay. So I still want to get that a little bit more perfected. I think maybe I can do that better with this. I don't know. We'll see. So let me get all these little guys in here. I already kind of made myself self-made beads here. Get all these out of the way. Oops. And let me cut this one up a little bit. It actually gets really quite hot. And it doesn't have to be tiny, tiny pieces, really. So this is a pretty effective way to do it too. And you have to be very careful. Don't touch any of that because it gets hot. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, so they don't want to overfill it either. So you don't need it leaking out. Okay, all right. These will be for later. All right, so I'm going to, my little coaster here, I'm going to flip it upside down and put it on top because I feel like this may be too hot for this. The hot wax, I think, is just about the limit. So yeah, let me light this puppy up. Let's see if, hopefully this one will stay. It worked for me before, so it should be fine. Okay. All right, so then carefully place this over top. All right. And then we're going to just set that there and wait for it to melt. And you would be surprised how quickly it melts. Yes, indeed. So I brought these out to cut up to make as beads, but I think I have enough boo-boos here that I won't need to do that. Although it would be pretty together. Maybe I'll do one batch with a mixture of the two. All right, so I'm gonna let this melt. And when it's ready, I will be back. Okay, here we go. Nice and melty. Nice and melty, no chunks. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pour a rectangle. And honestly, I'm not sure this is enough. I'll go for it. I'm afraid this might not be. Ooh, it's definitely not enough. Okay, hang on. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Oh, yes, and then also, I forgot to mention, you want to have, with this one, you want to have something to wipe the thing off because it's going to drip. But nothing with alcohol base because of the heat. Just kind of like a white, not a white, a wipe, like Pampers or wet one, something that doesn't have alcohol in it. Okay. So, I'm not sure how that's going to work now because that's going to dry before I get more melted. Hang on. Let me see what I can do here. Let's just take a little side trip here. This may be better for the hot glue gun because you have a much larger supply. This, you only can fill it up so much, and I think it's just enough for a regular size stamp. And I used the larger stamp too. I did fill it up to the brim though. And there was enough when I played with it earlier. So yeah, I'm gonna plug the big hot glue gun back in. Or you know what? No, I'm gonna do I'll do both. Why not? But I think maybe I'll try the low heat gun with this. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll try both. Well, I got them both plugged back in. And then let me see about this. Yeah, I had a feeling. This covers quite a bit of area. It's so cool though. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's see if this melts, if it's hot enough to remelt some of this stuff. Probably not. Yeah, I can already see this being a fail. Hang on, but I'm gonna see it through. I'm gonna finish it through. Let's see. Let's just see, shall we? No. Well, I mean, not horrible, but this is too hard to imprint at all. It's not even a little bit. So, okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Let me cut the rest of this up, or some more, to put in there, and we'll just do another one. Maybe we'll try the candle again. Okay, I tried to get that off before it was too cool. Before it was cooler, it was a little bit too hot still. So I'll have to scrape that off later. So all right, let's try doing this with the low temperature, and this will actually let me kind of just draw basically with it. Let me see. This is definitely interesting. I may not have... for Pete's sake, I don't have enough in here either. Okay, hang on. Hold what you got. I don't know where it came from. Okay, that's another one. Come on now, work with me, work with me. It's really not very melty. It's warm. This might not work either because you have to cover such a large amount of space. Okay, I'm learning something here. And look at this might be actually pretty cool. It'll have a lot of like designs, like kind of a variegated pattern. This is definitely, I don't think this is the way to go. I think the big hot glue gun is going to be the way to go for a large stamp like that. All right, hang on. All right. Oh goodness, yeah, that took way too long. I don't think even this. Well, a little bit, but definitely not ideal. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the big gun here. The big gun that has a lot of fluid movement. I'm just going to go back over here and just give it a good all right. Now okay, I think it's still going to end up looking like this, which is fine. I mean, it's really different. It's a different look. I don't mind it. Okay. All right. So that's melted and ready to go. So let's move on to some fun ideas that I had. Just the plain wax seal is fantastic, of course, but of course I'm always looking for something different. So let's put some wax straight onto cheesecloth here, just straight onto it. And yeah, I use the medium one. Yeah. All right. That way you have, oh, this one's going to be really uneven, but I think that'll be cool. Oh yeah, that's going to look good. See, the cheesecloth kind of pulls it into an odd, kind of a off, not odd, but an irregular shape. And I think that's pretty cool, actually. Get some more of those. Some of that. Yeah, I think I like that. I had tried it before and I liked how it turned out. So I wanted to do it again just to make sure that I was not imagining things. But I think that's a fun thing to do. And then another thing I wanted to do was do the same thing kind of, but with kind of give it scruffy. This is definitely scruffy. This is my rust stained sari silk. And I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do like a little tail for it, you know? Oops, come on now. Oh my goodness, these scissors are not doing well. Okay. Let me do over here. I'm running out of room. Okay, I feel like a mad scientist, all these experiments. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to do this. Put the wax over that. Now, let me see which, I think I'll do the large one. Well, hang on. If I do the large one, I'm going to need more wax. Let me cut up just a little bit more. While that melts, let me get this guy off. It's still kind of warm. I'm going to let that, and we'll peel this. I mean, you know, it's kind of abstract, and it's not really horrible. I don't know. I can't decide. can't decide. I like how this one turned out. But I think that wax, the low heat wax is just not, it's not good either for such a large surface. Okay. I don't know about that one yet. But it's kind of abstract. Let's see. I should try one on here. See if it probably peels up easier. Shouldn't I? Let's see. I don't want to disturb my flame. I know that I've got a flame going under there. Okay. Cool. All right. That's cool too. I don't mind that. Okay. Next one I'm going to do on here. So, except this is going to be in my way now. Is that cool? Yeah, it's cool enough. Okay, cool. Look. I really like the way that turned out. And then you've got like this cool little skirt already around it. Boom, cluster, done. Although, of course, you know what I was thinking? Like adding something like this to my paint chip circles that I cut out from my little specimen cards that I cut out. I'm saving the circles, of course. Maybe like, you know, do like a little, I don't know. The options are endless. I'm really into my rusty stuff that I made. I keep using it for stuff, which is good. But yeah, so that's an idea. So then let's go with this idea. And I was going to use the bigger one, wasn't I? Yeah. Okay. So let's just see what we can see here. I'm just going to glob the, oh no. That's, okay, that didn't work as well as I thought. Okay, hang on. Time to get the big gun. Let's looks like a mushroom. Oh my lands. Okay, that is not at all how I saw that going. Ay. Well, let's just see what it looks like when it's done. I need to get a new little wipe out for this guy. Yeah, it's still okay. Okay. All right. Okay, well, let's mix a few colors here. Oh, you know what? No, I had another idea. Hang on. Hold the phone. I'm just gonna pour this here. Get the majority. There's not that much really left. And then I'm gonna cut these. This is like, it's kind of the same, in the same family, but lighter. So I have an idea. Stay with me. Hang on. I'm going to make a little melty bowl there of the majority of it being this lighter color. Ugh, okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's still pretty hot. Okay. That's funny. That's funny. I was going to cut the rest of this up. This is a pretty color. It's like a very light, shimmery teal. Almost white, really, but there's definitely a tealish tint to it. Maybe this is why these scissors don't work on everything, because I use them for everything. Probably ruining them at this point. And yeah, if you don't want to mess with this, you can definitely buy them in, they actually kind of look like this, like tiny little discs. or beads. But yeah. Oh, okay, my hand's hurting. I have such wimpy hands. You've probably heard me say that before. Okay, waiting for this. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty. Can you see the mixture of the colors? That's gonna be so pretty. Okay. So what I was gonna do with that, once that melts, it's almost there. I'm gonna take one of these awesome candlesticks, the stamp from BB Craft. So cool. And I am going to, I'm going to use this big one here. I've seen stamps before where there's no pattern, it's just blank. So if I had that, I would put some wax here, put this on top of it, and then press that down with one that doesn't have a pattern. But I'm thinking this big one here has a pattern, but it's kind of roses. Let me see, actually, do I have another one that might work? Ooh, you know what? I have the steampunk one. That'll be cool. So if whatever pattern shows through behind is going to be, oh, actually, that will work even better. Yay! Okay, let me grab another handle. And I wanted to have a contrasting color. I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough contrasting or not. But that's kind of what I had handy. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to wait for it to melt just a little bit more. Let's see what this guy's doing. Yeah, that's a little bit ridiculous. It looks like a mushroom, though. That's funny. Okay, I know how to fix that. Let me see if I can salvage at least most of this wax. I don't want to get a string in there. Okay. All right. Okay. What I'm going to do, instead of trying to have it be, one piece, actually, I can probably reuse this. I will put my little tails like so. Like so. So there's not, I don't know if that's going to do the trick or not. Do it like this. The flatter it is, I think, the better. Let me do that again. I'll do it with this one and this one. Aren't you glad you're experimenting with me so you can learn from my mistakes? Okay. Still kind of wanting to look like a mushroom. Maybe this is the time to use the cooler gun. We'll see how that looks. All right, steampunk watch clock thing. Okay, so I'm getting nervous. Okay, so we're gonna put this here. It's still not enough, is it? Okay. Put this here. And then put this over it. Okay. All right, I'm going to do another one of these using the low heat while we're waiting for that. So let me, actually, I'm going to try something else. Similar but different. What if I just ripped it like that and kept the top flat? Looks like little pants. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. No. Oh, well, I'm just going to rip it. But I want it to be... Okay, that looks good. All right, so I'm going to use... Which one do I want to use? I'll use this one. All right, so let's get... See, this one, I have more control of where the wax is going. I hope I'm in camera. I'm in frame. I feel like I may not be. Hang on. Okay. And then the cross goes there. Okay, I think this is going to be a little bit more of a success. Okay, was that in frame? Oh, barely. Okay, sorry guys. But I'll show you when it's dry. Okay, let's see. This one, yeah, I don't love it. I think the low heat, temperature heat is gonna work best for trying to do this, because the hot one is just so hot that it just wants to run everywhere except where you want it to go. So, okay, now let's see how this experiment worked. I'm thinking not so much, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, no, not at all. Well, you know, if I did a completely different color, oh my gosh, actually that's cool. If I did a completely different color, it would have showed up better. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Let's experiment with that now. So, let's see. Since I have the red and the teal together, that's kind of a neat combo. I want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to make a red candle. Where'd it go? Here we go. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to make a red candle and then kind of pull off the edges like I did before. And then we're going to make a teal background with a steampunk. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay. Trying to make this... Now, since, well, I had one, silly me. But since this is rubbery, it doesn't break off as easy. I'm pushing this one down really hard so that there's maybe more of a perforation along the edges. Because with the other ones you saw, it just cracked right off. Okay, let's see what this one looks like. Yes, that's great. My cross is off center, but that's kind of cool. It's kind of off to the side. I don't mind that. That's pretty. Okay, that works. A little fine tuning there, I think, but that'll work. Cool. All right. Now, while I've got that going, I'm going to do the lighter color again. Should have had this melting already. I'm not great at multitasking. I thought I used to be. I really thought I'd be like, yeah, I'm a great multitasker. And then lately I'm like, no. I get sidetracked too easy and I can't I can't think about too many things at once, apparently. But that's okay. It takes all kinds. You know what else I could try? If I want to have more of a shape for the candle, I could use one of these molds. Yep, I could. Okay. I'm going to get another one of these. Let's see. I have kind of the bluish iridescent blue. I'm going to get more of a matte blue. Just experiment with my colors too. I'm not sure if that'll show up for the rest of this session, but I need something to push that through. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, now this one. Oh, that actually turned out pretty nice. It's kind of gloopy on the end there. So let me see. Yeah, I have to be a little more careful. But I can rip out the shape, I think, here. Or, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my little fussy cut scissors and cut around the edge because it's more rubbery. It's so interesting to me how that low temperature really changes the whole structure, because I don't think the wax is any different. So, I don't know. We'll see. This will be interesting. Okay, that looks like a boil, a tumor. That's not good. Okay. All right, almost there. Hang on. Okay. Interesting. Okay, now I kind of, trying to rip it didn't work very well. It looks scraggly. Kind of want clean edges on this, I think, as much as I usually like scraggly. I want clean edges. Okay, so this is definitely more tedious, but I have a feeling this is going to look really cool. Okay, so where did my steampunk guy go? Okay, all right, so I want to make sure. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah, okay. 12 o'clock is right there, so I wanna do it like this. Okay, all right. Don't touch that, Karen. All right, now this looks like it's melty, almost melty enough. How's my candle doing? My candle's doing great. Those tea lights really last quite a while. All right. Okay, I'm going to go for it. I have to move fast. Okay. Ouch. Ouch. Pushed down a little bit too hard on that. Yowie, that thing really gets hot. I mean, no joke. Where's my lavender oil? Owie. Okay. All right. While that dries, I'm going to play with a couple more things, a couple more ideas. Okay, what to do with your wax seals. So, and this I haven't tried yet, so you're experimenting with me again. So, let me see. I think I'll use this one and this one. So, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that we can make little dangles out of these. So, I'm going to punch a hole, but I need to get cardboard. Okay, got a piece of cardboard here that I can poke through. So I'm going to do it a little bit off center just so it kind of dangles. Kind of wiggle it around so we get a decent size hole. Okay. Can you see that? There's a little hole there. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Right there. Ay. Okay. All right. I'm going to actually, hang on. I'll blow that out. I think we're done with this. I don't want that to just sit there and burn nothing. Okay, so look. I mean, this is really the most basic. Dangly. You can do like a little series. Bigger one. Eek. The bigger one on the bottom. And then the contrasting one on the top. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. Add a bit of scruff. And lace. Like the little lace dangles that the girls in Haystack Creations did recently. Something like that. How about that? Huh. I'm kind of liking that. Yeah. Okay. So that's one thing you can do. You can also, I'm probably going to do it now, but just use a jump ring and put that through there and have it hanging off something like that. Okay. All right. And then one more thing, and I'm pretty excited about this. I did this already and it worked great and I love how it turned out. But before we do that, let me see how this turned out. It's like in my head, it's a really good idea. If it's good in reality, I don't know. We'll see. Oh my goodness. I think that's kind of cool. What do you guys think? Maybe not those colors together. I don't know. But that's a neat idea. I'm going to have to get more. I know BB Craft had more shapes that were just shapes like this. You can really make some cool stuff up. I love the candle with the steampunk gears and clock. That's really cool. I'm not sure I like those colors together now. But the concept, I really like. And then also keep in mind, you can get just plain ones that have no inscription or anything in there. And they're just plain, they're just flat. And then it would just push this shape down in, and it would just be plain, like a plain background, like this. But I don't know. I'm liking the intricacy of the two designs together, as long as they go together. See, I was going to do this one, which is just, it's hard to see, but it's just the rose, like a rose circle, which is beautiful too. That could work with something. I probably would have worked okay with the candle too. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me show you the one more thing that I did, that I played with the other day, and I loved it. So again, I got my rusty things. I got my rusty paper clip, and I'm going to use again the low heat, because I've learned now that anything that has any kind of structure, that the hot super high heat wax gun well, it's a glue gun, but the high heat, and it gets too melty and it's going to just want to run everywhere and you won't have any control. So for this type of thing, the low heat works best. And I need to get another, I'm out of that. So let me grab another one. It goes really fast. The little ones go fast. Let me see, I have some other colors, but I really like that red. It's like a shimmery red, which kind of goes with the rust. Maybe it's too much samey. I don't know. Let's see. So I'm going to just do a little one. So, because I think the big, it's going to take, you don't want, I don't know, the medium might work. The large, I think, is going to be way too large. But I'm going to stick with the little one. So you want to make sure that you do it on the end where you can still use the paper clip. You can still clip it. So don't do it here. Do it on, this is going to be the top right here. So what I'm going to do, and to have it look really nice on the back and the front, oh, I got to readjust my guns here. Oh, and I've got dog hair everywhere. My goodness gracious. How did that happen? Just all of a sudden, there's not a dog in here today. Okay. So to have it look nice on the back as well, I'm going to do just, a dollop, and then set the paper clip onto that, and then continue doing the top. Okay. And then we do our little stamper guy here. Okay. And it did kind of ooze out in there, but I think that'll still be okay. That's not too much, I don't think. Okay. See, so now the back has a nice, it's not completely covered, but it kind of has a nicer, flatter finish. And then just peel it off carefully. Carefully, I said. Okay, there we go. So there, look at that. And then you just put it on, well, I don't have a journal page, but I've got some paper here. So you just stick it on like that. And of course it sticks out quite a bit, but that'd be cool looking up, peeking up over a journal cover. Isn't that nice? Let me see if I can find the other one that I did. I think I did the same color. What did I do with it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I used my little rose stamp, and this one, this shows up a little bit less, but anyway, you can, I did this thicker. This one is a little bit thinner. I could have used more wax, but either way, it's fine. It works fine. But I thought that was a really fun idea. And what I haven't done yet is maybe add a little bit of cheesecloth. Okay, let's do that. We're playing, might as well keep, get it all out. Just get it all out, Karen. Okay, let's do it. Do it to it. Just do a little bit of fabric there. And paper clip. This way. No, this way. I'm not sure it matters. Okay, so then let's do a little dollop. Place that there. Then do another dollop. Bigger dollop. Okay, this definitely wants to get stringy. Okay. Let that sit for uno momento. And now this, is it still hot? Still pretty warm. I'm going to take my wipe and try to wipe most of it off while it's still warm. Oh, it's not. Okay, it's cooled enough now where I can't wipe it. So I'm gonna wait till it's completely cool, and then I'll just scrape it out. That should not be a problem. Okay. Oh yes, and I was going to try one more thing, wasn't I? I'm gonna try the candle. Try the candle in a form like that. Wow, that stuff is liquid. What a difference. Wowza. Okay. I'm just gonna plop it in and let it dry. You know, the thing is, I'm noticing the stamp itself is really heavy. I mean, they're all heavy, but it really sinks all the way to the bottom. And I think with it not having a circle around it, it doesn't distribute the weight as evenly. So it all just it really sinks in, which is why I think it was so easy to to just crack it off. Because it was like all the way to the bottom. It's really thin. And when there's a circle there, it kind of distributes the weight, and I don't think it just sinks as much. That's my theory. I'm not a scientist or physicist or whatever you call it by any means. I'm not a mathematician. I am an artist, and I actually saw a t-shirt once that said, "I'm an artist, you do the math." No, I said, "I'm an art major, you do the math." Yeah, that's me. That's me. I have never been good with numbers, and I just embrace that now. I used to be embarrassed about it, but I'm not now. Okay, let's see. This is definitely dry. So cute. I think I love it already. I love that rusty cheesecloth. Get it off from the side here. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Yes. I like that. I'll probably trim a little bit off so it's not like a rectangle. I want it to be a little bit more rounded. Okay. Yes, that is scruffy. Scruffy, scrappy. That's my kind of scruff right there. I like that. I like it. Okay. Yay. All right, we're coming to the end here, I think. I'm going to line up everything that we've done, and we're going to look at our fun little experiments. Let me unplug these guys again, because I think their job here is done. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm gonna get rid of this mat because I know it has a yucky glare on it. As soon as those little guys dry all the way. Okay, let's get this guy off. Looks pretty cool. That may be the way to go. If you wanted to have an actual, something surrounding that, just put it in a little mold like this. That's not bad. That's pretty cool. But I honestly, I really like this too. I like this concept. And this concept too, even though I need to fine tune that. The colors aren't as good as I thought they would be together, but that's just a matter of, picking the right colors. So, okay, cool. So let me set this stuff aside. get this guy out of the way, and then let's look at our little fantastic finds here. Okay. So the cool experiment part was mostly using these two stamps from BB Craft, and I will put a link below so that you can get those as well if you'd like. And like I said, they have more designs that are the rectangular shape and more that are just the raw shape. But I'll put a link for these two specifically below. Excuse me. Really, really like that. The rectangle, I was thinking I was really wanting to get something rectangular, but I don't know how that would happen unless I had a mold. But that looks kind of cool. Put some, I don't know, lace or ribbon, at the bottom, like that kind of a thing. Not that long, but that's kind of neat. I really like that. I like that. All right, so we've got those. We've got these that we used the mold, the little rings. And, here's another one of the candle without the form around it. And then this one just kind of cracked it off of the back. All right, and then we've got these just straight up on the materials. And then we've got these that are on the rusty paper clips. I love it. They don't have to be rusty paper clips, obviously, but I like the rust. And then we had the dangles. Just poke a hole in the wax seal and make a dangle out of it. Okay, here's another try of that one, which they turned out very similar, and I don't mind them at all. And this is just a good wax. It turned out really nice. And then this one turned out nice. These are just regular wax seals. This is another really cool experiment. I'm going to be playing with that some more. That's pretty cool. I like that. I wish I had done different colors because I'm not sure what I'm going to do now with that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll find something. And then this, this was kind of a flop, but I'm kind of intrigued. It's kind of abstract. The stringiness, you put, put this on a piece of paper, and then the white or whatever the paper is kind of shows through those holes. I don't know. I don't mind it. I thought I was mad at it, but I'm not. There's something kind of cool about that. So I'm going to leave that for now. See if I can find a good home for that. So there you go, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Well, you need to do it yourself. That'll give you as much fun as I had. But I hope you had some fun watching me. I hope you learned from my mistakes and learned some tips and some tricks on how to play with wax seals and just kind of do some things, different. So it's not just, there's nothing wrong with just a regular wax seal because they're fantastic, which you may have seen in a previous video. I made a cluster rolls, and I added the wax seals to that, and that's a great use of them too. But I wanted to try a little bit different things, and I'm really liking this. Maybe one more thing, maybe like a piece of book page or something. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So now you know, wax seals can be really, really interesting. And don't be scared, but do be careful because it can get hot. Definitely be careful. But I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've got a drawing that will be happening at the end of March. So if you have not seen that video, it's actually my opening video. You should be able to see it. It's a celebration video of my 1,000 subscribers. If you comment on that, you will get in on the drawing that I will do at the end of the month. And that video shows you what's going to be going and what the winner will be getting. So if you haven't yet subscribed, I highly, highly would appreciate it if you did. And to thank you, I will, be happy to get you in on the drawing if you comment on that video specifically. So thank you again for watching me, spending time with me, putting up with my crazy ideas. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.